So, we're back at our main page of our website. In my case, it's my socialmediapressroom.wordpress.com. And the WP-admin, we're back on our dashboard. This time, I'd like you to click on Posts and then click Add New. Another word for a post is an article. And in our case, the article is a press release of some kind. It would be the announcement of a new product or a message from the CEO or industry statistics or winning a merger and acquisition or buying a company or winning an award at the industry events or anything really that's, positive, good news that you need to let the audience know about. The audience would be customers, resellers, journalists. You have to make up your mind who you're speaking to. And also, it might include bad news. So it could be that you're shutting something down, or you're no longer making a product, or there's an urgent recall of some product or service. But hopefully it's all good news. For our new post, I'm going to use my social media press room to do some education. And so I'm going to write a little bit of a corporate-y type blog. So I might say 4 hot tips for Facebook and Twitter admins. So I know who I'm talking to. Notice the minute I type that in, then WordPress gives me the permalink. And the permalink, because I haven't changed it in settings at the moment, is the URL and then the date backwards, so year, month, day, and then the title. I can manually edit that to just being hot tips. Doesn't have to be capitalized. I just like to do it that way. Back on the visual side, visual just means that you get these buttons like a word processing. Text means text buttons to do the same thing. So I'm going to say, what are the 4 must-know hot tips for any Facebook or Twitter social media manager? And then I list them, blah, blah, blah. Now, I've put together a YouTube video. I'd already done it. It was part of another course for supporting women online. But I go to YouTube. This is on my account. And I just make sure that I've got youtube.com/watch !V equals and then a gobbledygook code and nothing else at the end. I just want that pure video link. Copy it. Now I'm going to switch back to text and paste in the link here. All of the 4 must know. Good. Now when I click publish, watch what happens to that link. And it can be funny. If I stay on text, it can work. Sometimes when I go to visual, it changes and looks horrible. But let's have a look. I click publish. Remember, I must come back here and refresh my website again. 4 hot tips for Facebook and Twitter admins. Then you list the tips, and then there's a video walking people through the tips. And this could be a new product release. It could be education on some of your products. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's here. And what I'll point out is YouTube is still collecting the numbers, is still collecting the analytics. You still get everything you need from YouTube. But instead of putting a link on my website and sending people to my YouTube channel, I keep them on my website. And that's critical because once they get to YouTube, there's so much interesting stuff on there. There's little cute panda bears and koala bears and, I don't know, laughing babies and all sorts of things. And they'll just never come back to your website. A couple of things I would look at here is, I think the title's too long. When they wrap around, they look a little bit ugly. Now, if you need to, you go back into your admin panel. I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted. Back to the WP admin. And when I go to posts or articles, I click on all posts. And now I can edit. See how it's this one here? I click edit. 4 hot tips. Let's say this is 4 Facebook and Twitter tips. Take that out. Update. You can play around with it, see what you like. 4 Facebook Twitter tips. If you need to, you can preview the changes on the right hand side, and that means that you don't have to save it and publish it. You can go in and see what it looks like before you publish it. So that's the preview button. I do want to point out a little bit in this block before we go much further. Instead of published, I can have pending review in case I have an editor for the website that needs to see it before it's published, and draft works just as well. So write it, save it to draft, and then it won't be published. In fact, if I save it as draft now, it will stop it from being published and pull it off of the main page. Visibility, public. If I want to, I can make it password protected and only people with the password can see that article. And we've done that for a client who's a journalist who has some articles she only wants her email list to see. And then private if it's for staff or something like that. I really like, excuse me, changing the published date. I can schedule this to go out tomorrow or next month. So you could write 3 or 4 articles and then publish them on a schedule. But don't do what a friend of mine did, which she published an article while she was away on holiday. And it just got crazy attention. And the Washington Post and the New York Times and people were calling her. And she's sitting on a beach sipping a margarita. Actually, I think she said it was pina colada. But, don't do that. If you're going to schedule them, just do it for convenience. Like maybe you want it to go up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you've got a meeting at 8. Fine. At least you'll be able to check in and see what happens at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. That's all I want to do at the moment for writing an article online, but it really is that simple. So I hope you found that interesting. Let me know in the discussion area if you have any questions. Thank you.